Hi everyone, my name is Dylin and I am a tutor here at iAchieve Learning, and I'm here to talk to you guys about how to engage your children in reading in a remote setting during a pandemic at home. I know this task sounds extremely difficult, but I'm hoping that I have some helpful techniques and trainings that will make this process easier as your children wait to return back to school for in-person learning. I think first and foremost, it's important that your children and you, but most of you work with your teacher and your children to find books that are on grade level or at their reading level and also of interest to them. It makes a huge difference when trying to find something that's going to get their attention and learn. And now this is simple. Most people know this. So if you're already there, I have another thing that I think could be helpful. So one thing that I've used with the students in the past and kids that I've worked with intervention and also when I was a nanny was making your own pointer for reading. I'll show you here. So this one's really simple. I use a popsicle stick. It's kind of Slytherin themed because I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. But just have them decorate it. And a lot of times children, art is a preferred activity. And then as they're reading, have them use it to point and follow along each word on the book. And that's something that you can hype up to them, like, hey, let's go use your pointer and read a couple sentences, or, oh, show me how that works, show me how you use it. And then while they're using it, make sure you encourage positive behavioral praise. So say stuff like, wow, you really read well when you're pointing to the words. That's a great pointer. I really like how you pointed and read the words, to help build positive self-esteem and also increase and reinforce them reading and also using a one-to-one correspondent. Because with a lot of kids, when they're starting to read or when they're having difficulties, having that one-to-one can help them, focus on the word at hand, sound it out, use it to block a word. And that's another thing, is that like if I have one, or I take it and I'll put it and block the start of a word. So I'll say like, what's this word? And then I'll block the starting sound, and then they can see it and they'll sound it out, and then I'll move it again. So this is something that you can use or that they can use. It's versatile, and I found it to be effective. Kids like it. They like doing it. They also feel like it's engaging and exciting, and it's something new and just another way to keep them engaged while you're reading. Another thing is that I like to do with students, and that has worked successful for me in the past in my reading academic clinic, is a thing called Listen Passage Preview. For students who are building fluency, it's very important that we expose them to words, read them words, and have them repeat the words. So what I would do is I would read a passage, and sometimes it'd be like maybe 4 or 5 sentences, depending on the grade. So like 4th grade, it definitely was like 4 or 5. For younger kids, it might be a quick sentence. And then I would ask them to read it back. And so that's kind of like hearing them say it. And I've had students who told me, oh, well, it's not that I don't know the word. A lot of times that it's unsure, and then they're frustrated, and then they're not interested in that. So I read it for them, and then they're like, oh yeah, that's exactly how I would read it. Or, wow, I didn't know that. And then they read it again. I think this is a great engaging activity to do with your child or your student at home. It's something that's easy, it doesn't require a lot of time, and it's practical. Now, how I spice that up is that you can go on Pinterest, there's tons of stuff, or you can pick them with the student / child and say, all right, like I'm going to read this passage in a silly voice, and so I'll say, they'll spin or they'll pick, and I got angry voice, and so I'll read the passage and it will say, I am going to the store, and I'll just try to say it silly and have it fun, and I'll point and I'll try to do it angry. And then you can also have them repeat it in a silly voice too and have them spin, or you can have one person do the silly voice and the other person just read naturally. Like you can read and they can do the silly voice, or vice versa, or you both do it. And I wouldn't suggest doing it for your whole time reading, but it's definitely something to do at the start or at the beginning to kind of like get them into it, get them going. It's fun. It's more challenging than you think because you're like acting at that point. But I definitely have seen that students enjoy it. They prefer it. They like being creative. It's something new. Being read to in a different voice is something we all prefer, and it's entertaining. It's interactive. Another thing that I like to do with students is also test their comprehension. For older or younger kids, we also want to make sure that, especially if they have struggles with fluency, that they're understanding what they read. And I have some fun things that I do with that. And you can find this on Pinterest. It's simple. I didn't print it out or make it because it's very easy. It's called Roll and Tell. And you can just tell them, all right, when you're done reading, if they read by themselves or with you, we're going to roll and you're going to get a question. And I want you to answer that question, and have them answer that. And then they know, but don't preview it to them till after they read, because you don't want to give it away what the question is. So have them read, get out your dice or make a pointer. They have tons of variations online. It's very easy to find, just like roll and tell, or spin and tell comprehension. Pick a grade level, and you can do it that way. And it seems that kids really enjoy that because they get to play a game, kind of. And I wouldn't make them answer all the questions. I would just make them answer one or two. And if they get them right, perfect. If you want to go the extra mile, and you can say, oh, well, you didn't answer that question. Can you go back and find the answer for me? And that's another way. Another fun and engaging way I like to interact with students is using a cookie catcher. I don't know how many of you guys remember these from school. I lived with these. I would make them all the time. I think I even might have sold them. But it's just something I enjoy making, and kids think these are the coolest. When I nannied, I made one for one of the girls, and I was making them for the whole class at the end of the day. So these are familiar. I don't know how well you can see this, but I have green, black, red, pink, and it's just simple. So you can just go, pink, P-I-N-K. And I'm I have setting solution in here. I don't know how well you can see that. If you don't know how to make these, there's YouTube videos, and also there's a printable on Pinterest that you can just print and the word's already on. You don't have to make it. You just got to figure out how to fold it, and you're there. But setting, that's always a good place to start, but have them pick. And so I'm going to pretend my student said setting. So I'm going to go to setting, and then it will just say, or you can have them read it to just keep practicing, is the setting real or imaginary? And they have to get that right. And then I would suggest, if they don't know any of the questions, one or two, more than enough. I feel that's an appropriate way to have them. I think it's appropriate to ask them to go back and find the answer. Or you can say, wow, great job answering your questions. We'll try to answer more next time. Depending on the fatigue of your child and where they're at, I would definitely not try to stress them out. This isn't school. It's supposed to be a fun game. You can also have them manipulate, and the cookie catcher, and be and you can pick the question that they answer to see what they know. But definitely one or two questions, because you want to be strengthening that skill as well. And then for students who might not be at reading level and might be still at sight words, there's sight word games. Easy. You can just buy them or print them or write a couple down and have the kids study, and then, flip them and say, all right, let's see how it goes. And then have them read it to you. And if they get 2 words out of the 10, praise, yay, great job, 2 words, that's awesome. Next time we're going to try to get more. And I would definitely keep track and have them keep track of their progress, and then kind of chart it for them. And then once they get to 5 words, maybe they earned an extra snack, or maybe they earned 5 more minutes of screen time, or 10. You can decide that with your child / student on what they're working for. And I think that's important. I'm going to go more specifically. I think that's important for all of the things we're doing, is that we're tracking progress, or, keeping a mental note of progress, and then also rewarding them. Kids really find it effective to see where they're at and that they're improving. When I did an intervention clinic last year with a student who struggled with fluency, she would get excited to see her progress. And we would foster those skills like, oh, you earn more words, now you get to eat a bag of chips, or you get to have gum throughout our lesson. And that was something that meant so much to her, and she really enjoyed doing that. And I know it's true for a lot of kids. They want to know that they're making progress. They want to hear that they're doing a good job. A lot of times kids can internalize that they might not be reading at the same level as their peers. So anything to make them feel confident, to make them feel good about themselves, will help them be more willing to learn and have it be less of a burden, because they're excited, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna read 4 words today, or I'm gonna read 2 pages, or I'm gonna know 5 sight words, and I'm gonna be able to get extra screen time or spend more time with mom or go play outside for an extra 10 minutes, whatever you guys agree on. And that's something that's gonna get them willing to read and engage them and interact them and have it be a pleasant experience for both of you. Well, anyways, I'm done. And if you have any questions, please contact me, reach out. I'd be happy to answer them. Thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to speaking or seeing with you guys soon. Have a great day.